Welcome to the Purple Political Breakdown. How's it going? How's your day been? And today we're gonna react to a quick snippet of something Destiny did or Destiny said on this podcast, because I think it's an interesting point to bring up. Let's lock in.
You recommend people listen to political commentators that lean right?
You should always be receptive to opposing viewpoints. I don't like almost any alternative media. I don't know. I think most of it's trash.
Hmm.
But
So you wouldn't recommend it. So
I
don't listen to anybody on the right.
or left either. Like most alternative media is just trash.
But you're on the left.
Yeah, I'm a special boy. Listen to me.
So you're the exception. You're the one
YouTube.com/Destiny.
exception.
I am
See, I
the
feel
one
like that's
exception.
another example of you
Mhm.
being this fringe exception where there's this massive population of other people on the left and on the right, or even in the center,
What can I say?
and none of it's
I'm
okay.
a cool guy,
Yeah.
you know? Here are things that I like about myself, and if other people did them, I would say watch them. There might be people that do this.
Okay.
They might be out there, and I'm just not aware of them, okay? One,
He's about to talk about me. I'm just saying the encounter of me and Destiny is inevitable. I'm just gonna put it right out there. It's an inevitability that we encounter one another at some point. These traits is about to be about your boy. Don't worry about it.
I don't have a rigid adherence to a certain political ideology. I have my political ideology, which I could be biased towards sometimes. I admit that. I'm not a fucking perfect person. But like, there are going to be things that the Democrats or progressives do that I think are fucking stupid. And I'm going to
I don't have I think he said strict adherence to a political ideology. Ding, ding, ding. Shout out to Rob Van Dam. I mean, I say I'm moderate. So I mean that I'm even more of a non-inherent individual to a political ideology than Destiny is, to be completely honest. I just believe based on what I believe, and I don't really take into account whether you're left or the right. I have a whole podcast about it. So check. Number one, you already know. Check. You know what I'm saying?
more with, I don't even say I'm siding with Republicans, but I just have strong inclinations towards this way. And the reason why is because I have a personal set of beliefs. And when a new situation is presented towards me, you're going to get my take on things. When you turn on my stream, and I think everybody now who's familiar with
Let me comment on that as well. That is also something that I preach consistently. When I tell people about my political beliefs and political ideology, I always tell them that I'm moderate, and I always tell them that the values, my positions are based off my own values, my own moral values. So they're adhering to what I think is right, what I think makes sense, and what I think is logical. I will only base a position based off that. The name of the ideology behind the position is irrelevant. It's all about the logical position based off my beliefs and my beliefs only. But there's another thing we have in common. Let's
hearing
say
noses.
something.
If you're turning on my stream, you're getting what does Stephen Bonnell think about this particular issue. If I turn on, say, like Hassan's stream, I'm getting like, well, what do progressives or far left people think about this issue? Or if I turn on, like Steven Crowder's YouTube channel, I'm getting, what do like these kind of like right MAGA people think about this? But it's not really like a unique consideration of the facts and then filtering through their own personal, like moral or philosophical lens. And then how do they think about things at the end of the day? I would say that's evidenced by the fact that I have like a variety of opinions that I get in trouble with on the left and the right. So for instance, like I think that Rittenhouse is totally in the right. I think that there's good criticism of like a lot of the trans youth stuff. That doesn't mean I'm fully against it. Like I can be, there's a lot of things
Like
that I
the
can,
Israel Palestine.
Again, very similar to what I do over here when it comes down to it. Um, when it comes down to my own takes, when I create my content, they're based off my takes, my perspective, my opinion. But I always lay out the facts as facts in it itself. And that is also very important to consider, of course. But the perception, the nuance, the takes that I make, the commentary that I do is based off what I know, what facts I know, and how I perceive the facts and how I think it logically plays into how it should impact not only individuals but also society. So also very similar. And I think he said something about getting in trouble with the left and the right. I mean, I do it too. I mean, I see in my YouTube section, YouTube comment section, Kyle Rittenhouse, I thought it was self-defense too. As for the LGBTQ stuff, I think it's pretty cringe at times. But like, I think where me and Destiny differs, I think he's considering the conversation of certain like hormone gene therapy when it comes to like 13-year-olds, not surgeries but therapy. um I just think they don't need any of that stuff. I personally think if they have a mental illness, it is a mental illness. But the question of whether should adhere to the mental illness as the solution is very shady. Because even with like trans disabled people, that there's also like a solution, or the best solution as of right now, from what I've seen, is to disable them so they can live out that reality. I'm not unsure if that's the best case scenario, um when it comes down to it, but at the very least I think it's appropriate for kids to kind of live out their full life until they're an adult, and once they're an adult they can do whatever the hell they want. I don't care. But yeah.
And also a little bit kind of
Oh,
like
true. I am a
politicized.
massive big dick for Zionism. Okay. Totally fucking 100%. Yeah. Although I would be critical of Israel on a lot of things as well. But like, yeah, definitely come out in support of that. But then like I fall very far left on some things. However, I would say it can be deceptive though when people say they're on the center because they've got left and right beliefs, because some people will say that. But in reality, when you go to analyze their beliefs, they're actually just like anti-disestablishment or establishment.
I say I'm the center. I'm not anti-disestablishment at all. And I'm not disestablishment at all. But I agree with Destiny's general notion, because I do think, from what I've seen, most people who identify in the center and moderate, or that's a moderate, really kind of fall in that line from what I've seen. But I still identify as the center. It makes it easier for me to choose whatever position I feel like.
So like I would say that people like Tim Pool is a friendly guy, but when somebody like that says like, oh, I'm not on the left or the right, or I'm
Temple's
even
a
like center left, or
bro.
I'm more like a
Temple's on the
centrist,
right,
when you look
bro.
at their beliefs, actually what they are is anything that has to do with the establishment. So anything related to pharmaceutical companies, big business, government, they're against all of that. Although be in favor of like every other, like whatever stands in opposition to that. Yeah, so I guess like find people that you feel like have unique or interesting points of view that don't always have to be like politically aligned. They don't feel a pressure to be politically aligned with one thing all the time. I personally, maybe it's unreasonable because I'm a streamer, so I have like a different thing than what I would expect a YouTuber to do. But I stream like all of my research and reading. Like you can see what I read, you can see what I'm researching, you can see me putting together my opinions as I'm like I take notes, I publish the notes that I take on everything, and I show you what I'm looking up. I think that helps too. So you can see how I arrive at my particular belief, which helps. Yeah, I don't know. I understand what you're saying in terms of like it's hard to think that you're like anytime you think you're unique in a certain way,
Statistics would prove
you
you
should be.
otherwise.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. One thing
That is a good heuristic what you're saying. Like if I was listening to me say this and I was across the table, I'd probably think like, okay, well, you're probably full of shit and you just don't realize it, but you think you're unique for this particular way, which I understand. But yeah, I mean, I stream all my stuff. I've made it to this point in my career. If you want to test it on anything, like I said, I'll argue with anybody on the facts, on the morals, and the whatever. And I feel like I can make a good argument for what I do. Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't like it when I have super high conviction on something that's just.
So yeah, for some final points when it comes down to some things that Destiny kind of indicated. If people, I tell people all the time that I don't expect people to kind of think the way I do. I tell people all the time, based on how I grew up, based on my background, and based on kind of certain sociopathic tendencies, it's understandable that people can't have the same level of like nuance and perspective as me. So that's fine. I also will say this, that the unique perspective thing for like Destiny in terms of not being politically captured doesn't come across, not for the most part, well in terms of creating an audience ultimately, because the people that are looking for the content are usually ideologically captured to consistently consume the content. So it's easy if I wanted to just make left. Bro, if I just wanted to make content to just wank off Vivek, I would gain so many subscribers so fast. Or if I just want to make content to kind of talk about LGBTQ, I'll make so many subscribers so fast. When it comes to me, who has like a nuanced position about a lot of different things, I'm gonna piss off people on every side, like Destiny did. Destiny definitely came around at a better time than I did. And I will say this too, when it comes down to it, I'm in like so many spaces. Like, I talk politics. I think politics is like the most important thing that I do because it actually impacts people's lives. But I can't put my full energy and commitment into it because I'm in other spaces. Like, for people who are watching this on my YouTube channel, I talk about sports. I'm on a sports podcast. If you guys know what Player's Choice is, I'm on there. I have an anime podcast with some friends of mine. Like, I'm in other spaces and I have like very important roles in those spaces. That's not even talking about my current job. And then obviously this with the YouTube channel, the podcast, I'm doing everything by myself. So if I'm able to make this my full job, I'll probably go similar to the Destiny route. I would stream my research. I'll be more committed to the research, and I'll be able to do a lot more things in depth. Because I'm gonna be honest, like, this is the narcissist speaking into me. If you give me time to prepare for anything, I don't think I'll ever lose in a debate. One, and two, I think I'm very intelligent. I'm a narcissist. Of course I'm gonna think like that. But I'm not gonna. The only reason why I'm saying that is because of what Destiny kind of indicated, in the sense that he does what he does, and he's able to do what he does because he's such an intelligent individual. And my goal is not to be Destiny by any means. I just find so many similar traits to me and Destiny on how we approach things. And there are things that I vehemently disagree with when it comes down to Destiny. But this is kind of a proclamation. This was an interesting kind of video that I wanted to make. It's kind of proclamation to myself that I got to reach that space. In order for my impact, in order for my voice, in order for my nuance to start reaching the masses, I need to start increasing the levels. And this year is a good test for it because I've been trying to post every single day in terms of videos. A lot of people have been watching a lot of the videos, a lot of people being very upset in the comment section. And I think, to an extent, I mean, not to an extent. I understand why people are upset. Like, I understand people better than they understand themselves. And yeah, I sound like I'm full of it. Kind of like Destiny would have said, "Oh, the guy across was like, yo, he's just talking bullshit." I get it. I understand. Don't worry about it. I understand if you think I'm just talking out of my ass. That's fine. Ultimately, what matters most to me is that I keep doing what I'm doing because I want to do it. And I'm going to keep on creating the content that I want to create to give out these nuanced perspective and positions so they start resonating with people. And I have no problem with molding my own position, molding my own opinion because I've been doing it consistently. I'm not set on an opinion. I create opinions based on what I know. I create based on my logical, how I logically create or how I critically think about the circumstances and the evidence to create a solution or a conclusion about the topic that I'm talking about. So that is me. So I just wanted to create this quick video. Shout out Destiny, of course. Like I said, it's an inevitable for us to meet at one point, at some point in both of our lives. So we'll see when that eventually takes place. But until then, we're gonna keep on grinding. We're gonna keep on doing what we're doing, and the sky is the limit for the most part. Hope you guys enjoyed. Y'all have a good one. Take care and peace.